Hello and welcome to our Java tutorial series. If you are a beginner looking to learn Java, you are in the right place. Today we are going to cover one of the most fundamental concepts in Java, data types. Understanding data types is crucial because they define the kind of data that can be stored and manipulated within the program. Let's dive in. In Java, data types specify the different sizes and values that variables can take. They are mainly divided into two categories: primitive data types and reference data types. Byte. A byte is a 8-bit signed integer. It has a minimum value of -128 and a maximum value of 127. Short. A short is a 16-bit signed integer. It ranges from -32,768 to 32,767. Int. An int is a 32-bit signed integer. This is the most commonly used integer data type, ranging from -231 to 231-1. Long. A long is a 64-bit signed integer. This is the most commonly used integer data type, ranging from -263 to 263-1. Float. A float is a single precision 32-bit floating point. It's used for decimal values but with less precision compared to a double. Double. A double is a double precision 64-bit floating point. Its default choice for decimal values in Java due to its greater precision. Boolean. A boolean represents only two values, true or false. It is used for simple flags that track true-false conditions. Char. A char is a single 16-bit Unicode character. It can store any character like letters, numbers, and special symbols. Now let's talk about reference data types. Unlike primitive data types, reference data types are objects. The reference memory locations where the actual data is stored. Examples include strings, arrays, and any custom objects you create using classes. When you create a reference data type, Java allocates memory to store the data and another memory location to store the reference to that data. Now, on to the big question: is Java a purely object oriented programming language? Java is often considered an object oriented. Why? Because of its use of primitive data types. Primitive data types, as we discussed earlier, are not objects. They are simple, non object types that store data directly in memory. This means you can't call methods on them like you would with objects. For example, an int does not have methods you can use, but an integer object, which is a wrapper class for int, does. To bridge this gap, Java provides wrapper classes for each of its primitive data types. These wrapper classes such as integer, double, and boolean are part of the Java lang package and provide methods that allow primitive to be treated as objects. To sum up, Java has both primitive and reference data types. While it's not a purely object oriented language, due to its use of primitives, Java provides flexibility and performance optimization that purely object oriented languages may lack. This use of wrapper classes allows us to handle primitive data as objects when needed, giving Java a unique balance between object oriented principles and practical performance.